Mike Coppinger here, senior insider for Ring Magazine, here with the takeover Teofimo Lopez. He's going to be defending his Ring Magazine junior welterweight title against Arnold Barboza Jr. on May 2nd in Times Square. Ring Magazine, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves card. We're also going to have Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez on that card, and then Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. But Teofimo Lopez is going to be defending that title. And this is what you've had that title for a while now. We just saw you spar 5 hard rounds. You looked really sharp. You were throwing some big shots in there. What were you trying to work on?
You know, it's good. It's good. It's good to have you here. You know, it's a little different for sure. What I was just working on, to be honest, just working on a little bit of distance, you know, and just range of motion with punches, you know, and then definitely working on inside shots when needed, you know, just counters here and there. But overall, just distance, really.
Yeah. But yeah, you were throwing some big shots in there. Like you said, your dad was getting very animated. And the right hand looks really good. Obviously, you're one of the biggest punchers in the 140-pound division, if not the biggest, I think you'd say. What do you think you're looking to prove on this fight against Barboza May 2nd?
I think, honestly, what I'm looking to prove is come May 2nd that I'm the best fighter in my weight class. You know, I've successfully defended my world titles twice already in that weight class, and I look forward to defending it a thrice. And, you know, just showing everyone that not only am I the best at 140 pounds, however, arguably one of the best fighters of this generation.
Yeah, obviously, you have a lot of big wins in your career. You have the win over Vasily Lomachenko, where you're the underdog. And Richard Comey, can't forget that. Josh Taylor, 2-time Millennial Champion, 2-time Ring Magazine Champion.
Sandor Martin, Jermaine Ortiz, Masahiro Nakatani.
Yep, Makatani. But look, like you and I were talking about earlier, I feel like you've always been a guy that has to get up for the fights, right? When you fight these big underdogs, we don't necessarily get the best Teo. In this fight, Barboza has been calling you out for a long time now, and now he's coming off his best win. He just beat Jack Catterall. And there's a lot of people... Yeah. And there's a lot of people, though, that are giving Barboza a good shot in this fight. He's not even that big of an underdog. Does that get you up, though? Are you excited for this one? Are you trying to shut him up?
No, I'm just doing my job. I'm just here to do my job and show everyone I'm the best. Forget the rest. That's it, you know. He's talking a game that he's trying to get this fight. Now it's here, you know. So all we could do now is just stay focused, you know, dedicated to everything, and just go out there and put on a good show for everybody out there. Not just for, you know, for the thousands that are going to be in attendance, but millions watching all around the world.
Yeah, but like you said, like he's been talking. You guys were talking a lot in New York, and then in LA, it got physical. I think you slapped him a little bit.
Talk is cheap, you know. Talk is cheap, you know. He should have known better. Don't tip my hat. Should have known better.
I also think there's actually more interest in the Barboza fight. You know, like I said, he is coming off a really good performance, and he's been calling you out for years now.
He's barely won his last 3 fights or so. I think he's barely lost. Like he's barely won. He's been having what, split decisions. We're speaking facts here.
So you don't rate Barboza, really?
He's going to find out May 2nd. That's all about. That's what it's all about. And not just him, but everyone else that thinks that we're not at our peak. We're not there. We're not anything. A lot of questions are going to be answered that night.
Look, like I said before, we saw your power in the sparring session. I think you had a knockout against Pedro Campo in your first fight at 140, but you haven't had a knockout since. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's coming? Is the power, now you've been in the weight class for a few fights, is the power really settling in?
What I truly love, I'm a man of faith, you know, and it's not my story, but it's God's story within me that he's using. So think of it like a disciple. Think of it as someone that's going through this. He always lets, every time people think that they have a chance with me, he makes sure everybody is ready to put that on me. Just so that I could come back and win in a glorious way. Same thing that happened with I could name a few times that has happened. There's patterns to it. I don't know if people have followed my career correctly, but there's patterns to it. And, you know, I could care less about, you know, these guys that I'm facing, they weren't easy. Not a lot of people wanted to pick them and fight them. You know what I'm saying? So to each his own, and I look forward to just going out there, and I felt like Barboza is someone that's gonna walk into some shit.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Sandor Martin, and Also, Jermaine Ortiz, two guys that are pretty tricky fighters. No one wanted to really fight them.
One that Sandor Martin beat Mikey Garcia, a 4-time division world champion, right?
Yep.
And Jermaine Ortiz fought Vasily Lomachenko and gave a run for his money, right? Yep. Until like the championship rounds. Jermaine Ortiz is a tricky fighter as well. He goes and he could switch stances. So these fighters that I've been looking at and defending and facing, you know, people could say a lot of things, but it's not easy. I know I've made a lot of fights look easy. However, that's because I was mentally there, you know. And in those fights, you know, things didn't turn out that way because I was, you know, going through personal problems with wifey. Now that's out the window, so there's no excuses.
But your personal life is going good now. You're feeling good. You're feeling...
Yeah, man, I'm very happy. I feel younger, too. I felt like she was sucking the youth out of me, you know, so... It's good to be back in my square circle, be back in my one true love, and that's boxing. No matter what, whenever I went through anything, boxing was always there to uplift me. No matter what, it never left me. So I think I owe a lot to the sport still, and I look forward to May 2nd really showing that to the world. You know, it's a new fresh start for me. I'm just turning 27, so you know this will be a great startup to the new year.
Yeah, and, you know, it seems like every time you're going through these turbulent times, though, like everyone was counting you out against Josh Taylor. And then what did you do?
Yeah.
That was, when, you know, that was maybe your best performance.
Yeah, I treated him like an amateur. I mean, no disrespect. Like, he's a good fighter, a great fighter. But I just know. And the same thing is going to happen to Arnold Barboza. I just know. It's not about experience. It's just a feeling.
Obviously, you have roots in New York. You have roots here in Miami. We're in downtown Miami right now at the Boxer Gym.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Daniel, Boxer team. To everybody, you know, it's been a privilege, really. You know, we're here at the Boxer Signature. It's a little bit different. It's for those of the world champions, just like the new renowned champion, I believe at light heavyweight, David Benavidez. Yeah. So, you know, it's guys like us, you know, they only rock with the best because that's what it's all about. And it's about influencing those to come and make it out here on this side as well.
But yeah, so your last fight was in Miami. That was in June, a win over Steve Claggett. Now you're going to be fighting in Times Square. It's going to be pretty crazy. The first boxing event ever in Times Square, right in the center, outdoors. Does that get, you know, Teofimo is obviously an entertainer. You're someone that likes to fight under the lights. Does that get you hyped up a bit?
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. It's a historic event. I mean, who could really say that they're going to fight in the center of Times Square? You know, there's 8 billion people in the world, and I will be only one of the 8 billion that will be fighting in Times Square. When you think about that ratio, yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. You guys ain't fighting in Times Square. You a bunch of losers. Look at y'all. Look at you, mad as shit. I made it. Hey, Mom, we made it. We made it to Times Square. Hey, shout out to Ring Magazine, to His Excellency. Shout out to all the promoters, Golden Boy, Bob Arum, Top Rank. We don't want to put Todd DeBuff. Ooh. And then on top of that, you know, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. You got Gold Star as well, Spencer. I mean, just everybody in the City of Wolves, Fatal Fury, you know, and the SNK, you know. Hey, I'm looking for a side gig too, you know what I'm saying?
But, you know, hey, speaking of fresh starts, you said fresh start. You're going to, you're funny. You're going to have, this is a multi-fight deal, right? With Turkey Al-Sheikh, Ring Magazine, Riyadh Season. What do you think is the plan going forward from all your discussions, your vision?
Yeah, you know, that's a great assessment right there that I got to think about. It's about what am I going to do after, right? Depending, you know, I always like going after the biggest challenges and the giants of the new divisions and of this world of boxing. So whoever you think is the best, you know, we would love to face. You know, anyone that's at 47, anyone that's at 54, anyone that's at 40. You know, we're at that level where we deserve to face everybody. I think we bring a lot of hype and a lot of excitement to the sport. You know, every time you see a Teofimo Lopez fight, you're gonna see excitement. You know, we're not gonna pick shot things. We're not gonna make it boring, but we're here to entertain. My father taught me that at a very young age. So one thing for sure, I think gotta inspire. So I don't know where and what that's going to be like, but I noticed that all my accolades and everything that I've done is not really moving it.
No?
No,
Why not?
because it was your job and you guys are not doing a good job. So I gotta find a different tune, and I think the best tune is gonna be to inspire. Kobe Bryant is a good example right there. Kobe Bryant, he definitely, what he did was, despite all the championships he's won and MVPs he's earned, I believe that one thing he left behind was the inspiration to keep moving forward and to keep going. And I'm following those footsteps right now. So I really want to inspire. Not inspire racism, let's cut that out the way, but inspire a generation of being one together. I think we all, the stronger we are together, I think the better we're going to grow as a community for the sport and all as human beings.
I think, like, obviously everyone's talking about it. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney sharing the same card with you, three of the biggest names in boxing. Are we going to see you fight one of those two fighters next year? Oh, what are we eating here anyway? We have a salad. Looks like some strawberries.
You want a strawberry?
Oh, I think I'll be all right.
You all right?
Yeah,
It's Miami, baby.
Can't eat this late, it's after midnight. So
It is?
yeah, I didn't work out. You did.
I'm telling you.
You're good.
All right, but listen. Overall, I think that's the build-up. Everybody got to do their job. Everybody has to win. And as long as all those things happen and they go to plan and come to plan, the best and the best are going to fight. It's almost like a tournament. And we'll see each other, the best fighting the best. Whoever is the last man standing, I believe the beginning of next year.
All right. So who do you want to see more, though, out of those two? Who do you think is going to win? If Garcia does fight Haney as planned this fall, who wins that fight, in your opinion? The
Man,
rematch.
I don't care as long as I'm over there in the other line. As long as I'm there next year, that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? They're moving up to 147.
Yep.
I'm still at 140. So they'll at least get like a little head start of the welterweight division. So to everybody at 147, beware. Teofimo is coming to conquer the 147 division. And look, I'm just thankful. I'm grateful overall. Whoever wins, Ryan and Haney, put them in front of me, we'll beat them. It don't matter. Either one can get it, But that's AB's line. Shout out to Adrian Broner.
So this fight with Barboza, this could be your last fight at 140.
I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see what the odds, what everyone wants to do. Maybe I go to 47, come back at 40. I don't know. I can still hold my Ring Magazine belt. Can I?
Hey,
Come on, right?
not up to me, but
The rules are the rules,
rules are the rules. That's true. If you're going up one fight, you can do it.
right?
But you've also talked about going to 154. I mean, how high can you go in weight?
Shoot, listen, if Crawford could do it and no one gives him shit for it, then I could do it, and I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're the best, that's all it is, man. That's what it takes. At least I'm talking about 1-2 weight classes a difference, and that's all it is. I mean, look, there's so much room to take every belt. There's not a lot of noise at 54, not a lot of noise at 47 as much as it should be. Just being honest, my own look into the divisions, and there are strong fighters in those weight classes, but strong is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to win world titles. You got to be smart.
Yeah, 54 definitely isn't top heavy, but it is deep. And then 47, like you say, yeah, right now it's not really glamorous, but Ryan Garcia is going up, Devin Haney's going up. If you go up, obviously, it's one of the boxing's glamour divisions. So, but look, what's your prediction?
My prediction for
Arnold Barboza, Teofimo Lopez, you're the champ right here.
All right. Well, my prediction is that we're going to make boxing great again. And we're going to start it May 2nd. And I believe that whether this fight goes 12 or not, it's going to be one to watch. So tune in live on DAZN. Get your pay-per-view now.
And finally, you've had some amazing entrances. My favorite was The Greatest Showman. Great movie. I finally saw it a couple of months ago.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You like it?
Some great numbers in there.
Nice.
Well, are we going to have something special planned for the Times Square takeover?
Live on DAZN, May 2nd. Tune in and you'll watch everything there. I promise you. It's going to be fun. and exciting. You know, I always do it for the crowd and for the people. I do it for everybody that's watching right now and tuning in. We're here to entertain and make everybody's lives happier.
All right, Teo, thank you so much. Appreciate the time. Great watching you spar. And
Yeah,
we'll see you on
yeah,
May
fun.
2nd in Times Square.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, the most fun ever.